Whenever someone calls with a, let me get rid of this here. When someone calls us on the phone, we should tell people that usually FaceTime us. Hold on, let me do this. So we have, sorry about losing the feed. Sorry about that. Hold on. Here it is here. Oh, there we go. This is so silly. Sorry, everybody. This is so weird. What happens when someone calls us is the screen goes like blank. Let me just, sorry guys, I have to do this. Doesn't want to read my palms? You can read my palms. What the hell? Oh, we don't have the questions of what people were asking before. Welcome back. Sorry.
Hi, sorry.
Maria, thank you. Ha. So yeah, my brother didn't mean to do it. He was just FaceTiming us because he's coming over this weekend. He lives an hour and a half away.
So whenever someone FaceTimes us or cuts in, we lose our feed.
I only FaceTime like 2-3 people, and I usually let them know, please, I'm going live, so don't FaceTime me, because then it cuts it off completely. So, hi everyone.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul. How's it going?
Christopher's back. Hi, Maria. Roger.
Sorry about that. I know it's kooky.
Believing Rebel. Hi from South Carolina. Hey. Hi.
I think it was North Carolina. I bought my Zenith Wedge stereo downstairs, and I thought it was going to be worth a lot of money. I didn't buy it for that reason. It's because it's stereo and not hi-fi. But I bought it because everyone, when I was growing up, wanted to have that stereo before hi-fi came out, and everyone wanted that in my area of friends, right? Because hi-fi had been around when they made that out. But long story. Anyway.
Did you ever watch the Harry Nielsen documentary and your thoughts on Harry?
No. Well, I was an eccentric kind of guy, out there. I've talked to a few people who worked with him, Bill Schnee, with Richard Perry, and who was it? It'll come to me. Just weird stories about, drinking and John Lennon. Anyway.
So Haircut is asking, John, if you could have been a drummer for any band, what band would it have been?
Well, I don't have the skills as a drummer.
But if you had the skills.
Well, okay.
You were good, that good.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So, swing it.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. I know Genesis.
Of course. Yeah.
Toto, Genesis, Elton John. I don't know. I like what Nigel Olsson did with Elton John. I just love his drumming. Less is more. Nigel Olsson. He didn't fill everything. But I'm a but Simon Phillips is my favorite drummer of all time.
So Sue is asking, when can we expect to see the Joseph Williams interview?
That's my fault. Chase did, I think, 9 parts of it, and I told him I'm doing part 1. And that's part of me being overwhelmed. So it's all in the can except part 1. And I can't release part 2 before part 1. And basically part 1's about who Pamela is about, the actress. At the end of the interview, he says, "Oh, do you want me to tell you who Pamela's about?" And he tells me. Some of you might know. If you don't, you have to wait for the video. And then I told him that I researched the main actress who's in the Pamela video. She's married to Balthazar Getty. And he guessed who it was. I said, "Oh, she's in the Getty family. She's married into the Getty family." And he said, "Oh, Balthazar Getty?" I said, "Yeah." So the main girl who was that and Stop Loving You, she's in the poster. She's a mural in Stop Loving You. Beautiful girl. She still looks like she did back then. She just lost, people lose their baby fat when they get older. Her face is a little thinner, more defined. She might have had a little work done, but she still looks like the same girl. So that's what the video is about. There's a lot of pieces to it because we show pieces of video of her and film of her, and I'm just overwhelmed with it. But I'm back on track now, so expect it real soon, like within a week or possibly tomorrow, because it's almost done.
Charles says hello from Miramichi. Hey, Charles.
Hey, Charles, you disconnected us. No, it's not your fault. You didn't mean it.
Mark says, I don't know if you answered yet. Have you tried to interview Bob Seger?
Oh, you said that in the last one. You mentioned that in the last one. Yeah. No, But for all intents and purposes, isn't Bob retired? Sometimes, though, they want to talk. Like Linda Ronstadt, a friend of mine, someone who came on a live feed recently told me they interviewed Linda Ronstadt, for instance. And I went, well, isn't she retired? But she likes to talk. And why not? You know, I don't know why she didn't mention, someone said she didn't mention Andrew Gold in her book, which is odd because he played with her for so long. And he tried to teach her how to write songs. And I've got Andrew saying that, and I know I haven't put that video up, but that I have a reason for not putting that up. It's not a video, it's just audio. Made just a few years before Andrew died. And he talks about one day they were just in a hotel room or someplace, or in her bedroom or something. He was trying to teach her how to write songs. Because, of course, she was an interpreter. She didn't write her own songs.
Roger's asking, have you got separate hi-fi setup or a stack hi-fi system?
It's stacked downstairs. Next time we do a live feed, I'll take you around. But it's a stack of just a Sony amp, Sony double cassette decks. I forget what the CD is, and a Kai top-of-the-line turntable from '79 with quartz locked on it. And then I've got the wedge stereo system, and I've got clip speakers on the Sony. I forget what they are, but they're really good speakers. Amazing horn tweeters on clip speakers. God, I love them.
Toot says, hello, John and Shen, and welcome back to the East Coast.
Aren't you here? Toots, aren't you in Moncton?
Pass my water.
Oh, sure.
Is it there?
Yeah. I thought you were in Moncton. I know you're from Chatham, but...
The drummer of Iron Butterfly just passed away. He told the great story of Ringo and McCartney coming to see them. Ringo admitted stealing the drum solo for Abbey Road.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that. That's... Sorry to hear that. Wow.
Excuse me.
In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida.
Have you heard or seen Martin, is it pronounced Barr? Barr, right?
Yeah, Martin Barr.
Barr solo band stuff?
No.
What do you think of the tall songs with 2 guitars and no flute? I love it. Have you ever met or interviewed him?
No, well, Ian Anderson, of course, I've interviewed, I can't even guess how many times, 4 or 5? He's not a tough interview. He's very charming. I find him very charming. But I always have to put myself in a groove when I interview Ian Anderson. But I love interviewing him. I'd interview him 20 more times. Martin Barr, no. And I asked him about Martin Barr, and he said, well, it's because he doesn't get back to his emails. And he's like, and I remember going, I'd like to hear Martin Barr's side of the story of why he's not in Jethro's Tull anymore. There you go.
Bwen007 says, hi, I'm from the Netherlands.
Oh, Netherlands, cool.
Toot says, I'm in Salisbury, not far from Moncton. So yeah, that's really close.
Oh, wow.
And RD says, do you remember the highest paid Canadian cover band, Click? Nothing about them on the internet.
No, I don't remember them. Tootsie, if you ever want to go for coffee, let me know. No, I don't remember them. There's a lot of more obscure bands that sometimes people will ask me to cover, and the part of me thinks, well, I'll cover them in a specialty video, because Shannon's now writing, or she does a research for Rock History book. We're going to start getting back to that channel as well. I tell you, when I'm out of it, it's so hard to get back to it, to get back into the swing of things. I find it almost impossible, but I need to pay the rent. So that's my job, right? So I got to do it.
Do you remember Pooh Sitter Dart?
No, I don't know. I don't know who that is.
So John, Toot says right on, John. If you
Yeah, of course.
Going for coffee. Mike L., your thoughts on Queen doing a part 2 of the Bohemian Rhapsody movie?
Are they officially doing that? I've been out of the loop for so long, I haven't heard. So if they're doing that, is it going to be mostly Queen without Freddie Mercury? I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I'd rather they don't, but it's their toy.
Speaking of Queen, she said, I was just congratulating you on your lovely new home right before the live stream cut off.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Billy Reed, John, your worst interview ever.
Well, Miles Goodwin was my most challenging, but he was having, I think he was having issues of April wine. And he was really, the one thing I like about Miles Goodwin is in the middle of the interview, he said, I don't really feel, listen, I got to tell you, man, I don't feel like doing this morning. I think he was drinking then. He's very, very transparent about his drinking in his book. His book, I haven't finished reading it. And to his credit, and I told Jim Henman that, I said, you know, it was cool that Miles said that. He says, yeah, but you know what? You seem to know a lot about the band. You're obviously a huge fan of the band. Let's get her done. And it just hit me. I went, this was the year 2000, because Miles, I remember, autographed the albums, Miles Goodwin 2000. So that was, but the worst interview was Eddie Cibrian. So Miles Goodwin gave me a lot of great information. So I always want to sort of balance that out a little bit. The worst one was Eddie Cibrian, and you might go, well, that's not a singing thing. He was in a band called 3 Deep. That's the singer who's married to Leanne Rimes. And Joshua Morrow from Young and the Restless, and again, I forget the Canadian guy's name, but they formed a boy band, believe it or not. Look them up, 3 Deep, the number 3 and Deep. And I had to stop the interview and say, you guys are just fooling around. You know, Joshua Morrow and Eddie Cibrian were just being complete assholes. I should find the interview. I've got it on cassette. I should put it up. You know, and my son was with me, my older son, Mark, and he said, were all interviews like that, Dad? He said, they were kind of be jerks. And I went, yeah. No, they're not like that. Most people are very nice.
Have you heard the new Jerryrafferty album, Rest in Blue?
I heard the single. I find it hard to sometimes listen to music that's released after someone's dead. It depends upon the situation. And Jerry, and no disrespect to Jerry, but when we talked to Ray Williams, he basically said Jerry couldn't get on stage. And I love Jerryrafferty. My God. I'm not one of those guys that only bought City to City and Night Owl. I bought a lot of his albums. But he couldn't get on stage without being drunk. He had to drink a lot before he went on stage, and he was difficult to work with. But I still loved him. Listen to the song "The Right Moment" by Jerryrafferty. It's such a tranquil, beautiful song. It's just one of the most gorgeous pieces. "The Right Moment," Jerryrafferty. Go look it up. Write it down. It's just so beautiful. Hi, Shen.
Hey, what do you think of the Freddie Mercury replacements, Adam Lambert and, of course, Paul Rodgers?
Well, Paul Rodgers wasn't meant to sound, obviously, like, what is it? Mark Martel? What's the guy's name who sounds just like him? I still think he should have done it. I think if you're going to do it, make it sound like Freddie. I know they didn't want to, they picked Adam Lambert, and I like Adam Lambert. They picked him because they didn't want a direct copy of Freddie Mercury. I don't know. I think Mark Martel should have been the guy. I got to interview him. I asked him, he never got back to me. He's the guy who does all the stuff, sorry, Shen, all the stuff that sounds just like Freddie Mercury. Look up Mark Martel, Queen.
And Mark is saying, just asking about head pins with the great Darby Mills. He says he's friends with Brian Greenway.
Oh, are you? Yeah. Brian of April Wine, there was Jim Clench, who's dead now, who came back with April Wine, left after Stand Back. And Brian Greenway, Jerry Mercer was still with them, one of my all-time favorite drummers, and Miles Goodwin. And and it was Brian who gave me tickets to the show. Not that I think Brian's the last guy I talked to, and he got me like really good tickets to the last time I saw April Wine. Brian's a great guy.
So do you think the Stones are done now that Charlie's gone?
No. I don't think the Stones will ever be done. I don't think, the Stones is kind of like, Monty Python. He cuts off the arm. Come back, you coward. So it's what they was. I haven't seen it in so many. It's only a flesh wound or whatever he used to say. Yeah, that's funny.
Do you ever listen to April Wine album Stand Back? Incredible.
Yeah, it's one of their best albums. They still, that was the last album where they were still a tiny bit that was a bubblegum rock pop album. That there was, Tonight is a Wonderful Time to Fall in Love. And, but Ooh What a Night stands out. When we did our poll and we asked April Wine fans, Ooh What a Night was way up there by Jim Clench. I wish Jim would have stayed with the band. But it became Miles Goodwin's band, right? first it was the Henman family, two brothers and a cousin, and and Miles, and then the Henman boys started taking more of a back seat. And Jim Henman was only on the first album. Love April Wine. Favorite Canadian band, bar none. I just love April Wine. All my friends know that. They grew up with me.
Darren, keep the yellow wall. It's real life, that 70s show house. Oh my God. Oh, that's a good one, Darren. That is a good one.
Why don't we take you around the house? Not tonight. We're not going to do it tonight.
I have been dying to get rid of this. And maybe you can show, can you show?
I showed the ceiling.
Yeah, Darren, a little more the ceiling. Darren, you're going to like this one. Take a look.
Look at the ceiling.
Look at 3 different layers. The ceiling's very high. 3 different layers of 3 different yellows.
Yeah, the top one doesn't look yellow, but it is yellow.
They're all, it's like a paint fan in 3 different colors. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gorgeous and open in here, but it's very yellow.
Yeah, this open space is bigger than our last open space that we had. And I'll just turn you around. And this is
It's just so yellow.
This is our
So yellow.
front yard. It's dark out here now.
And did I say it's very yellow?
It's a very yellow. It's a yellow house, and outside is kind of pinkish burgundy. It looks a little pinkish now. We were going to change the outside, but we've just spent so much on this house since we moved in. It's crazy. There you go.
Have you heard the new Lindsey Buckingham album? It
Yeah.
came out this past Friday.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like it. I like everything he does. That's another guy we're going to reach out to try to get. He's doing the solo tour. Mick Fleetwood says he wants him back in the band, and there was rumors for a while that he was back in the band, and I think he will be back in the band. That's my prediction. That's all I have to say about that.
Buen007 asks, are you from Genesis? Seems to think he knows you from somewhere.
Are you from?
Are you from Genesis? I think he's thinking if you're from a band or something.
I've interviewed some Genesis members, but no, I'm not in Genesis.
Queen says, hey.
Yeah, I'm their lead singer, man.
Green says, hey, did you play only vintage rock when you were a DJ or other types of music?
Oh,
as
I
well?
played a lot of stuff that's not rock. When I started in soft rock in '83, I was lucky. I started in major market. I wasn't ready for it, but I started in major market. I've only worked major market radio. I've never worked. So I'm lucky, but I had to learn really fast. So K-Light was a light rock station. Then I started syndicating a show across the country called Cross Canada Report, which had a AC station, AC version, light rock version, and then we went into, because we had demand for it, a rock version. So that's the first rock stuff that I did, and it was big because it was syndicated across the country in 42 markets, which might not sound like a lot in the U.S., but it's a lot in Canada on 42 markets. Every major market except Toronto. We didn't have Toronto, mostly because I wasn't the DJ that hopefully I became later on, that I was major market and sounded like it.
Chase Tower saying nice mustard color. We've got Maria saying mellow yellow. So yeah, mellow yellow for sure it is.
Yeah.
And Randy says, I live down the road from Mark
Andy's.
and go to church with Lyle Lovett.
Wow.
Not many can claim that. Nope, not many can.
Mark Andy's was one of my favorite interviews. I found him, and people are funny. Just he used to look like a beach bum, beautiful, and he was like that in Firefall, and he was like that in Heart, but he's gotten older, and I erase comments when people were saying, "Oh, look, he's gotten old." Yeah, so have you. Everyone, we're all old. We get older.
Who's your favorite Beatle?
Paul. No question about it. It's always been Paul.
Haircut's asking, have you heard of a band called Ocean Color Scene?
No.
If not, will you check them out? Ever heard of them?
Ocean Colors. Okay. Yes. Ocean. Can you remember that?
I can. Yep.
Okay.
Chris Hurley, do you like Max Webster from Canada, Universal Juveniles? Yep.
I interviewed Kim Mitchell. He was a great interview. He's on our Canadian channel, Rocky Street Canada. He's also on this channel, but mostly thank you.
Happy to see you both. Keep up the great work. Have a wonderful day. JJLPGG. Thank you.
Is that you, John? I think that's John Potton. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it.
Good evening from Louisville, Kentucky. Love your show, Loggy Doggy. Thank you.
Mine's a cockroach. What? I'm sorry. You were probably referencing something we missed. But
Christopher 628. What are your thoughts on the upcoming Genesis tour with Phil Collins? Severely limited.
I think that someone just posted a thing today. I saw it. I really, I don't listen to Sea of Tranquility. I think that guy's great. But I don't watch a lot of movies, videos of people who do what I do. I never did that when I was in radio, listening to the competition. Sea of Tranquility guy's really good, though. I like him. And there's a guy who dresses up in really nice shirts, and he talks about rock and roll in a situation with a nice chair, and he's really good. I like him. He does his research. Professor of Rock is good. And then, what's his name? The musician guy who does all the pop. He's the biggest guy. I forget his name. I've been out of this for so long. It's crazy. Hi, Shen.
Hey, the Ocean
Pete
Colors.
Pardue. Yeah, that's right.
The Ocean Color Scheme is a British band, so just note for that.
Oh, cool. We're just going to do an hour tonight, guys. We've got 8 more minutes.
So I do have that 1007 just asking who you are.
What?
A few times now. He's from the
Okay.
Netherlands.
I'm a broadcaster. I find it funny I have to do this. I'm a 38-year broadcaster in Canada who started a YouTube channel, 8 years ago?
8.5.
It's become very popular. We do really well, and we interview rock stars, classic rock stars.
And we'll occasionally take you on house tours of our home.
Yeah. You just look up the channel if you want to know who we are. You'll see interviews with a lot of people. Depending upon how old you are, you probably know.
Helen says, peace and love from Houston, Texas. Hi.
Hi. I've not been. I've driven. Where is it? One of the corners of Texas. I came in and I got lost, so I can't officially. I officially can say I've been in Texas, but Utah, Arizona, obviously California. I've never been to New Mexico, but Arizona quite a few times, and of course California the most time. No, Washington the most times. Oregon multiple times. But Texas, yeah. Nevada, of course, because of Vegas.
Bill Henderson of Chilliwack.
Interviewed him once.
Yeah.
I have 3 interviews with him. The other 2 were I was given by a broadcaster named Steve Burgess, and they're all digitized. Best story I was told by Bill Henderson. He told me this story. I was interviewing him for a West Coast music article I was doing. It was the biggest article I've ever done. I was a little nervous about it. I was writing for this newspaper in Vancouver. And we were talking about why he was at Salt Spring Island or one of the islands or something. And he comes up to this old guy looking at this house, and it's a private sale. And the old guy's at the house, and he asked Bill, he says, well, so why do you want to buy my house? Or something. I'm paraphrasing. And Bill says, well, I'm a musician, and I'm always never stopping, and I'm like an A-type personality, and I just want to find a house where I can slow down. And the old guy just laughs at Bill. He laughs and laughs. He says, and Bill says, why are you laughing? He says, you're not going to change a bit. You're going to move into this house thinking you're going to slow down, and you're just going to be you. And Bill says that's exactly what happened. He bought the house, and so the geographical fix, right?
John with the legendary discover of the elusive Shady Poo Head.
Good memory. I call her
That's so
Shady Poo
funny.
Head. She called her sister once Chrissy Poo Head, and I went, "Oh, I'm using that." So I only usually call her that when she'll be at a desk of a department store and she'll be ordering something, and she goes, "Okay, and your name is?" She goes, "Shannon Edwards," and I'll say, "It's actually Shady Poo Head," and people always laugh at that.
And Maria says, and we get to see Shen's broken foot, LOL. Just so you know, Maria, I'm like on month 4, and I'm doing exceptionally well.
Yeah.
Surprisingly well.
Yeah.
So I'm out walking him. Now
I have to tell her to slow
he's
down
telling
again.
me to slow down, whereas before I'm like, could you slow down? I just can't go that. So it's back to normal again, right?
It was strange because Shannon has thin feet. She has very beautiful feet. She looks after herself.
Sweet.
And when she broke her foot, she had like was all swole up and stuff like that. And I remember comparing her foot to the other foot, and I said, "Oh, look, your foot looks normal now," because she's got thin feet. She has a hard time finding stiletto shoes when she was in the office because anyway, yeah, nice feet.
Thank you. And in the last 3 months, I bought 3 pairs of good runners. That's all I've been wearing. It's just runners. I'd like to go back to the
No
heels one day,
stilettos.
but that's not, stilettos is like a long time away.
Yeah.
It's gonna take me a while to kind of get back into it.
We're not even using the light on we have one of those round things
Oh,
that's holding the phone up because the phone is, we got 17%.
so Roger says, what do you think of the music by Richard Marx?
Love Richard Marx. Repeat Offender, I think, is one of the best albums
We
from
saw
the
him.
80s.
We saw him in concert.
Oh yeah, we saw him in concert.
In Calgary. In
Just him and his
Alberta.
guitar, and at the
And
end
it
he
was good.
played Right Here Waiting on the piano.
Yeah.
I love Too Late Say Goodbye with Prairie Prince on drums from the Tubes. God, he's a crazy ass drummer, that guy.
Randy says, how about watching the David Crosby documentary for me so we can discuss it?
Oh yeah, I had it on our last TV. We had it taped on our last TV. Not TV, but the box that comes, where you get your cable. I'll check it out. Marcus Eaton, we were trying for an interview with Graham Nash. That didn't pan out. They were looking for me because it's all the same management company. They all handle all those kind of East. Oh, watch the thing on your key.
Oh, sorry.
She's getting violent, guys. I don't know what to do.
Blaze says, greetings, Brother John from Utah. Classic rock. I remember
Hey.
it when it was contemporary and new to me. Thank you for interviewing us old farts like Rod Argent, Mark Farner, and Caleb Quay.
Rod Argent was amazing, and it was nice that Shen von Schreck and I interviewed Rod Argent together because he's a Rod Argent fanatic. So this is while I think he was still with Toto at the time, and one day I had his number, so we talked a few times privately, and I called him up and I said, Shem, why don't you interview Rod Argent with me? He said, no, I can't do that. I said, geez, you're like a walking encyclopedia of music. Your dad was in the music industry. I said, you got to do it. I said, I need you. I need you. And he asked Rod Argent the most obscure, beautiful question, because Shem is one of my favorite people. I just love that, I wish he was still in Toto, but it's okay. People have differences, and he's not anymore. I respect Lukather for his decisions, and Shem is certainly busy, so doing soundtrack work. Good guy, though.
Angel says, greetings from New York.
Hey, Ryan. Hi.
And Shannon John, good to see you settling in. Hope everything is doing well.
James.
And that's from James.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. And we are. It just took a while because when you move into a new house, you're walking around it all the time. You're going in every room over and over again just to get a feel. It's almost like your body needs permission to say, "Oh, I live here now." And we haven't moved a lot. This is our third house. We've only owned 3 houses.
What's your from the ends? What's your most treasured piece of memorabilia in your collection? Oh, you got lots of stuff.
I got a lot of stuff. An autographed picture with me and Bernie Perrant, who was my favorite hockey player of all time. I was a goalie. I've only played goal. I've never played another position. I've actually never played another position. I'm not one of those goalies that, I'm going to play forward today, with the boys. I've only played goal. I've still got my goalie equipment. I still got my goalie pads and my Jacques Plante mask. That was a big one. The April wines, that autographs, that Miles, Brian, Jim, and Jerry signed. Boston autographed debut album with Tom Scholes, autographed it, and who else autographed it? Brad Delp. Yeah, I forgot his name there for a second. Yeah, and Zeppelin 4, autographed by the 3 originals and Jason. That's a big one. It's probably my most expensive autograph that I own. And I know it's real because a friend of mine got it. Hi.
Hey.
Anything new?
Nope, we're all pretty caught up.
We're caught up, guys, and it's 8:01. So thank you for hanging out with us. It's been kind of cool. Almost weird coming back on. We haven't come on in a while.
And I haven't been on in a while, and it's really nice to see some familiar names that pop up. So
Guess who's starting her own YouTube channel?
I am.
She wants to look into the 80s, so it's going to be like Shannon goes back to the 80s or something like that. Mostly music. I don't think we want to mix.
I don't know if I'll be dressing up like I'm in the 80s, but will I be dressing up like that? I don't
Can I show them the picture?
know.
Yes. I'm going to show them. I got to show you. Before we leave, I'm going to show you one picture of Shannon from the big hair days. You look hot. I mean, it's a great picture.
The big 80s,
Okay,
what,
I'm
Joyco
taking-
Ice Mist days?
Is it Joyco?
I think so.
Okay,
Just
before we
make it,
leave-
make it quick.
Okay, if any questions come up,
Painless.
hold on, guys. I'm taking you to the. I might have shown you this already. There we go. We're going into the. This is Shannon in the Miss Penticton contest. There's Shannon. She didn't want the picture up, and I told her it's going up. Picture. That's how much hairspray in your hair.
I don't know, a bottle and a half.
And then, okay, there's more poofy pictures. You ready? We got two more. These are in our bedroom. This is Shannon when she was modeling. She didn't want to put this up either. But I said, we're putting it up. And there's me when I was doing my headshots, trying to get a job in Much Music. I didn't use that for a headshot. I just, hairy arms. There you go. One more shot. I love that picture. That's a lot of hairspray. That's Shannon right there.
Hey, Kurt, hi from Vegas. I heard
Hey.
you know Johnny Rivera.
Vera.
Totally.
Shannon, when she went to Vegas with her mom and her sister, met up with Johnny J. Rivera. And I used to work with him when I used to do smooth jazz. So he's a good guy.
Super nice guy.
I talked to him 6 months ago in the car. I was in the car and he called me up. Such a nice man. Seems very happy now. Seems. Oh, thank you. You're not going to read those comments, are you?
Johnny and I play and teach together.
Oh, right on. No.
Tell him to say hi.
No, the comments about you. You don't.
Wow, so much hair on you both.
Those were the days, eh?
Hey, it ain't the 80s without the shoulder pads. You said it. And you know what? They're sneaking those shoulder pads right back in.
Really?
Yeah, I bought a few different blades. I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, they're bringing them right back.
Okay.
Love
Beautiful
the 80s,
lady.
beautiful. Thank you. It's a nice compliment there. No more ozone there because of all that hairspray. Hey, like back in the 80s, it was Joyco. It was called Ice Mist, and it was the bomb. It was like in a purple bottle, and you were always felt like your hair was going to fall. So you backcombed it, sprayed it, and this stuff was like glue. And you'd have to wash it like twice just to get it out. But it's so funny.
There are
back
some
in the day.
pictures that Shannon has
Oh.
of the old days of her and her sister, and I swear to God, it's a little scary because their hair is so big, but it's a when in Rome thing. That's what people did, So there you go.
What do you think of Bryan Adams?
Love Bryan Adams. One of my best friends in Edmonton was a lady named Nancy Saskew, who was a record rep for A&M Records, and back then it was A&M Records. And she dealt with him many times. She always had nice things to say about Bryan personally, and working with him. Never interviewed Bryan Adams, though I have an interview with Bryan Adams downstairs that somebody gave me. The problem is I can't tell who's interviewing him, and I can't use it. It's a pretty blunt interview where they're just talking about having to play all the time. And he did that. He used to play the clubs all the time. I remember he was always playing at this club in Edmonton. He'd do it for a week or something, but he worked hard.
Dan says fee waybill would be a cool interview.
I've tried. And all they did when I reached out to the Tubes is put me on their mailing list so I get concert updates all the time. I'm going, okay, well, that's fine.
Shannon, please interview Men Without Hats for your new channel. Okay.
I know the person who Eric Alper. I think he's the guy who handles them. Eric gives me a lot of interviews. We were going to interview Leona Boyd, but I was just moving in. And remember, Leona Boyd worked with Eric Clapton and David Gilmour on, what was the name of the album? New Age music stations played it. I played it. Persona. And obviously she's a lot more than that. She's like the first lady of guitar in this country. But I think that ship has sailed with Leona Boyd. And she's not rock anyway, but she did that kind of rockish album. Doo-doo. The pop metal hair bands.
Yeah, we're talking about the 80s. The pop metal hair bands get all the hate, but most guys in the 80s had comical hairstyles. Did they ever? And he's asking who invented the mullet.
I don't know why people thought when I put the picture up of me with my perm, I had a soft perm and it was like rock and roll hair.
Flowy.
They were all saying that's not a mullet. Why would people even call that a mullet? I would never have a mullet. I've always been aware of what a mullet is. I've never had a mullet. But they say stuff like that.
Interview Nathan East.
I've interviewed Nathan East.
Yeah.
Guess what? I never asked him about Toto. And then I talked to him again after that. And I said, I can't believe I interviewed you. And we never talked about Toto. He says, well, next time, man. Because he was releasing a new album. And we talked about foreplay and stuff.
Do you think foreigners should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Yeah, it was right in my era.
I can't remember. Aren't they? They're not? Don't you find that you do that? I'll go, what? Wait a minute. Are they not? You know, and you go.
Thoughts on Billy Squire as a guitar player? Underrated?
I wouldn't. No, I don't know enough about Billy Squire's. I mean, I know the fact that him being so flamboyant as a performer, there was too many messages. It's like the Peter Frampton thing. Too many messages on what he was, and he was just being who he was. He was just a lot of different things. So I think when people saw Billy Squire perform in some of his videos, I think that might have hurt him. I thought he was cool. I thought it was something really interesting about Billy Squire, and that was right in my the early '80s. That was right in my wheelhouse. But still out there. Hall of Shame. Yeah, a lot of people say that. I kind of know what they're doing. I think they have to bring people in before they die. I think there has to be an urgency now with the people that are still around. I think they have to open it up, but they're never going to do that because it's a money-making situation. It's like politics now. It's all about money. Don't ask me about politics. Okay, we got to go. Guys, thank you so much.
Appreciate you being here with us. It's been fun. Glad
Been
to be
fun.
back.
We'll be back. We'll try to do this once a week. Maybe Sunday nights. Sunday nights seem okay. Yeah, we're just thinking out loud. Bye. Love you guys.
Thank you. Bye.